true.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, alright? I like Undertale. I like Undertale a lot. It's a good game, but I'm not gonna lie, I'd be hesitant to tell people that. In general, in social situations, I tend to avoid the topic of video games. If I touch upon it very, very lightly. Usually, I talk about my other interests. It's a lot easier to explain to most people what bird this is than to explain why
the backyard got sick.
So, with all of that being said, I really don't know why I traveled nearly 1,700 miles to stand in a line with hundreds of Undertale fans. Basically, back in September, for Undertale's 7th anniversary, Fangamer, who sells Undertale merch, decided to collaborate with this random freaking D&D cafe in Anaheim, California, and sell themed snacks and merch and drinks and stuff. I saw this on Twitter and I was like, it'd be really, really funny if I did this. There was one teensy tiny little problem that I had to work out though. I live in Idaho. That's almost 1,700 miles round trip. How was I going to get there? Well, luckily, there was one man insane enough to accompany me. Mr. Ting was gracious enough to take me with him in his Subaru Crosstrek. He made his own video on the trip. I'll link it down below if you want to see his account. It's pretty good. With our plan made and the weekend set, we set off. A day in St. George and a long drive later, we arrive. We were then met with the longest f***ing line I have ever seen. We had to wait in this line for 4 freaking hours with some eldritch horrors that climbed out of their holes for the first time in years. Listen, there were plenty of normal people there. Like, for example, this really nice guy and his dad who looked like Pauly Shore. There were lots of artists, lots of cosplayers, and I think that stuff's awesome. You know, I have family members who do that. I have family members who do art. I have family members who cosplay. So I really didn't have a problem with any of that. I didn't think that was embarrassing. There was even a person dressed as a deer, antlers and hooves and all. And they were really, really polite as soon as they realized I wasn't there to hunt them. I was wearing red plaid. R.I.P. Among Bank. But goodness, man, I was in the middle of so many happenings in this crowd, and I was trying so hard not to cringe. I have never seen so many people handing out their Discord usernames in a public setting. There was a group of fat gamers ahead of us in the line screaming about fighting games, and I've never wanted to leave a social situation more. Listen, I'm not acting like I'm above playing or enjoying silly games, or that I'm above acting immature, because I've proven time and time again that I'm not. Pikmin! Woo! But this was a public setting. There were like normal people across the street like staring at us, staring at the guys screaming about fighting games. The few teenagers I saw were on average more well-behaved than the adults.
Act like an adult, man.
Anyway, after like 4 freaking hours, we got in, and the atmosphere and the decor were great, alright? They had set the mood. It was awesome. Aside from the Markiplier videos they were playing on the TV, I don't know why they did that.
Hey guys.
So we go up to the counter to place our order, and they don't have anything left. For a minute, I was like, did we just drive 800 miles and stand in a line for 4 hours to get nothing? But luckily, they stopped us and they were like, we still have the drinks. And I was so happy about that, because the main thing I wanted anyway was sand soda. So we ordered and we waited like 15 minutes and we got our sand soda, and it was really good from what I remember. They said it tasted like cotton candy, and to be honest, I don't even remember. I just remember that it was good, and I was happy to have a cold drink after standing in the hot California sun for 4 hours. The only other thing we got was the Toriel milk tea, which I don't remember, but I remember that I thought it was good, so. In the other corner of the store, they also had the merch store, and we went over there because we were like, we drove 800 miles, we gotta have something to show for it, and they had pretty much run out of everything there too. But they did have a few things, so I got a mug, a lanyard, a few stickers, and an acrylic stand. Anyway, we left, and it was funny, and it made for a good story, so, you know, there's not a ton to complain about. Yo, Undertale! I won't lie to you though, afterward we got In-N-Out, which was honestly a more enjoyable experience overall because In-N-Out is the best. We went on the day after it opened, which was our fault. I mean, we should have expected the shortages considering the hundreds if not thousands of people they had to serve, but at the same time, Fangamer should have planned for this. Undertale is one of the biggest games in history. The Pope has a copy that I'm sure he's put 400 hours into. Apparently on that Friday or Saturday we were there, they said they weren't getting new merch until Wednesday, which is awful. And if you look at their posts, this continued to be a problem throughout the month that they had this. Eventually, they just started selling Reigen Arataka's piss. I really don't blame the staff or anyone involved with Requiem since it isn't their fault. They really did do the best with what they had, and it seemed like they were good people. To me, it seems like Fangamer put a lot of pressure onto the small business, and in my opinion, they really ought to do it somewhere else where they can handle it. Later, they sold the merch online, which was better in almost every way. And one of my friends got me the shirt, so in retrospect, I'm glad I went, because it's a funny story, and I hope they can improve that experience for any F-wording gamer that goes to another one. They just did a Homestuck collab in April, so maybe that was better for anyone who likes that. Maybe they learned. I literally could not care less though, so I won't check. Anyway, this was a short one, but I'm working on other stuff right now, like another fish tier list, so go watch the first one if you haven't. Okay, thank you.